a scholarship and entered the Army's Green to Gold program, where he obtained his bachelor's degree and completed Army Officer School, ROTC, commissioning as a second lieutenant while simultaneously earning his expert infantry badge. He later served as a platoon leader with the Army's 38th Infantry Division, and as part of the global war on terrorism, his unit deployed to Djibouti for Combined Joint Task Force Horn of Africa. This mission focuses on counterterrorism with threats from Al-Qaeda operating in African countries while improving regional stability and security. Spencer soon thereafter received his honorable discharge while leaving the Army with the Presidential Unit Citation Medal, an Overseas Service Ribbon, an Army Commendation Medal, 2 Army Achievement Medals, a Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, and the National Defense Service Medal. After leaving the Army, Spencer moved back to his hometown of Fort Wayne, Indiana. In 2020, Spencer moved to Crystal Falls to build his own business that he owns and operates. He currently employs 13 local residents from Iron County. He lives in Crystal Falls with his wife Lauren, his son Thaddeus, and his dog Lila. Here is our speaker, Spencer Byrne. In the Bible, in the book of John, Jesus was speaking to his disciples. This would be one of his last recorded accounts by his apostles before he was sent to the cross. In chapter 15, verse 13, Jesus says, "No one has a greater love than this, that someone would lay down his life for his friends." I completely agree with this section of Scripture. But what about laying down your life for people who aren't your friends? Or your family? Or who have the same skin tone? Or hold the same creed? Or claim the same political party? Or worship the same God? Would you lay your life down for them? Would you even consider doing so? These men and women that we are honoring today are the people that have laid down their lives for a nation that has all the diversities that I just mentioned. A nation with a flag of 50 stars and 13 stripes. A nation that is strong and resilient, because that is what we were built on, and that is what runs through our veins. Our nation. And despite its shortcomings, is a nation that houses a people that are more blessed and privileged than they sometimes realize. A people that are more well off than most of the known world. A nation where our foundation was forged by the lives of our own people. By the hasty soldiers and volunteers at Bunker Hill and Yorktown, fighting off the most powerful army and navy known to man in that point in history. A nation molded by the blood shed at Gettysburg and Shiloh. By the lost battalion in France fighting off German forces that surrounded them and had them outnumbered. By the fearless and take no for an answer Marines at Iwo Jima. By the 82nd and 101st Airborne Divisions on D-Day. By the unbreakable Navy at the Battle of Midway in the Pacific Theater against the Empire of Japan. By the tough Coast Guardsmen above the USS Leonard Wood in Singapore. By the unwavering infantry at Heartbreak Ridge in South Korea. By the 18-year-old boys
at the Battle of Nha Trang in South Vietnam, by the superiority of the Air Force, who dominated the sky during Desert Storm, by the 10th Mountain Division, fighting in the Triangle at Death in Iraq, and by all the men and women in all branches of the United States military who fought and are still fighting the global war on terrorism and the evil that accompanies it. The evil that threatens our safety and our way of life, but is combated by our men and women in arms. Freedom is not free, ladies and gentlemen. It has been secured by over 1 million lives since 1776. Our nation's lives, our neighbors' lives, our friends' lives, our families' lives. So today, have your cookouts, drink your beer and wine, smoke your cigar, have your fun, love on your families, laugh with your friends. But remember, this has been brought to you and paid for by the men and women who laid down their lives for you and I. The men and women who didn't make it home, who left a widowed spouse and one less parent to raise their children. The men and women who didn't lay down their lives just for their friends, but for us, for all of us. This is nothing that should be taken lightly or be overlooked. So please, don't ever forget that. And as parents, make sure your kids never forget that, as they are the ones who will shape our country's future. God bless the families of the heroes that laid down their lives to get us where we are at today. They will surely never be forgotten. God bless you all.